Hey everybody, welcome to Jacob's Quest, and today I just finished watching episode 10 of The Bad Batch. Obviously a full spoiler review, so let's just get into it. Okay, so the last 4 or 5 episodes have all been very much like one after another, directly following each other up, and this feels like the beginning of, this is either the beginning of a new arc, or this is really more of a middle chapter. It's kind of a one-off adventure story is what it feels like, but we do get some pretty interesting things here throughout, especially the beginning of this show. We had started seeing the transformation from the Republic to the Empire, and it was happening really fast, and we get another glimpse of that here. We're here on the planet Braxis, which apparently I didn't even realize this. I must have I'm sure they established this at some point, but apparently this was the capital of the Separatist government, which is something that we only ever got glimpses of. We've been on plenty of Separatist planets, but for the most part, we only saw the droids and the droid bases getting destroyed, and General Grievous and Dooku and all that. And only for maybe 1 or 2 arcs in the Clone Wars show did we see the actual citizens of the Separatist governments, because remember, I think it's like a third of the Republic left and became Separatists. And in this episode, they're really kind of pushing something that they did cover in an arc of the Clone Wars. If you remember, there was this one where Padme had a friend, an old senator friend who was a Separatist, but they were trying to talk to each other, and Padme's ultimate goal is to stop the war and try and reach some sort of peace between the Republic and the Separatists. And basically the whole lesson of that arc is like, yeah, the Separatists, the actual people, the citizens, they're not like evil people. Everyone in this war was manipulated by Dooku and Palpatine and the Sith. So the Jedi, the Republic, and the Separatist people were all manipulated equally, really. So it's just interesting kind of seeing that again, really, because what we show here on Braxis is that the Empire, now still using clone troopers, has invaded, and basically we have this, I guess it's a governor. I'm not sure if they actually establish who this lady is, but this imperial lady saying, addressing the citizens of this world, saying like, hey, the Empire is going to treat all of the Separatist planets fairly, and all we ask is your cooperation, right? Which, cooperation, while they have a bunch of soldiers with guns pointed at the citizens, so yeah, sure, cooperation in quotes, right? And then we see a bunch of tanks roll out, and the senator of this world, the leader, he looks like he used to be an old general a long time ago. He was supposed to come out and basically say like, hey everyone, yeah, just do whatever the Empire says, everything will be fine. But he cares about his citizens, like, and so this kind of again gives you this vibe of like, okay, so he's not just some kind of, maybe he might have been a Separatist, but he's not like a scummy politician type. He actually genuinely cares about his people, because he's like, no, you know what, don't listen to the Empire. They're trying to take over, and we can't just lay on our what is it lay on your backs or lay on your stomachs, which is the I guess it's laying your backs to submit, right? However the phrase goes. Anyways, and basically he's like, yeah, don't listen to the Empire, they're full of shit and all this and that. So of course they immediately take him away, and now he's under arrest, because that's not what he was supposed to say. And his little droid helper was programmed to call for help. Now, for some reason, I guess the command was just to hire mercenaries in general, because of course Sid immediately gets this call for help and says, okay, Bad Batch, I got another job for you. And this time they're like, we're gonna leave Omega behind, because this whole system is obviously occupied by the Empire, and she's got 2 bounty hunters chasing after her, and they don't know that Fennec Shand has basically been told to back off for now. Basically there's too much heat on them, which I think again kind of begs the question of like, why are you guys still wearing your very customized, very recognizable armor, right? Like, you know, don't get me wrong, I like the Bad Batch armor. It's cool. The toys are awesome. I got some of the Black Series toys. But, you know, if you're like trying to lay low, you think that you would maybe start dressing like standard bounty hunters or something to blend in more. That way people don't go like, oh yeah, those guys in the weird looking clone trooper armor, yeah, I saw them, you know, like, because anywhere you go, like, they know who you are by the stuff you're wearing. I don't know, I know it's a cartoon thing that they just kind of wear the same thing anyways, but I don't know, you would think that they would try to, you know, be more subtle, but whatever. Anyways, so they're gonna go on this mission to save the senator, and it's this pretty cool, you know, heist, I guess, or the rescue. I call it a rescue. It's not a heist. Anyways, so they have to go into the city. They sneak around. They take out a bunch of clones. They meet up with the droid, and the droid becomes helpful. And I'm kind of wondering if this droid helper, I don't remember the name, I'm wondering if that's going to be a reoccurring character, because it was actually, you know, it was a little bit of a comedic relief, and it was not incompetent of a droid. It was actually pretty capable of, you know, going along with the plan. It would come out in the hallway saying like, oh, I'm lost, you know, as a distraction for the clone troopers that they're trying to get past. So I'm kind of wondering if that droid's going to stick around for a little bit. It might, right? But anyways, basically they end up escaping, you know, and it's a pretty cool action sequences, but not much story stuff happens past this point. And they make it all the way back to Sid's place. I'm kind of forgetting what the name of the planet they're even on, where Sid's at. Anyways, so they make it back, and the whole time that Omega's been there, you know, she's at first she's kind of doing that kid thing where she's all mopey because she got left behind, right? But we actually do get one major other development here, is that apparently Omega is really good at strategizing in that Star Wars chess type board game. I'm forgetting the name of that game, but you know, it's the classic one that they played in New Hope, the, you know, the little chess hologram thing. Apparently she's really good at that, and by the time the Bad Batch get back, there's just this crowd of people all placing bets and all this stuff, trying to beat Omega at this game, and she keeps on winning. And it turns out that she's won enough money to pay off their debt. So now it seems that I guess they don't need to do jobs for Sid anymore. If they don't want to, they can just kind of leave. I don't know if they will, because, you know, maybe from this point on they can actually just buy things and afford to, you know, get repairs, and maybe this is why they haven't gotten new armor. Maybe now they can actually buy new armor. But yeah, that seems to be a pretty significant development. They didn't make like a huge deal out of it, but like, them owing Sid money was the main thing that kept them around at that point, right? So I don't know if they're gonna move on from this place, but I don't know. Sid, honestly, like at first I really don't trust her, and she's kind of supposed to be shady, but her interactions with Omega, I kind of trust her now. I kind of feel like she's not actually gonna end up backstabbing the group at any point. For a while I was thinking that was gonna be the twist, is that at some point Sid is gonna be like, oh, I'll get more money by I'll get more money by just giving the Bad Batch over to the Empire. But that does not really seem to be the case anymore. I don't know. I feel like, especially now that she's had more of a direct relationship with Omega, Sid's heart might have changed to more on the good side now. So I don't know, maybe they will stick around, because this is a safe place, I think, you know, or at least as safe as it's gonna get for the moment. So we'll see how that plays out. But in any case, it was cool seeing the Empire be like, you know, it's just, I really enjoy seeing the transition stuff. You know, the Clone Wars are over, so these lines of, oh, you're the Separatists and we're the Republic and we're the good guys, now the Bad Batch kind of just has to deal with this of like, oh, we're helping a separatist, we're working for a droid, the droid is the client that hired us, so it's just, I really enjoy the fact that they're being pushed into these situations of like, you guys worked for the Republic, but now there is no Republic. This line between good guys and bad guys, it's like now there's just one bad guy. The Separatists were equally as tricked into this war as everyone else was. Count Dooku showed up one day saying like things like, oh, the Republic is corrupt and evil, but I will lead you guys to a good government, and of course that was all bullshit. I guess the Republic was corrupt ultimately, but so I don't know, this was a really interesting episode. I enjoy seeing a lot of this, like, what else. I want to see more planets, more Separatist planets that we might recognize. I want to see Mandalore at this time, because when we last left Mandalore, it was also there was a lot of clone troopers on Mandalore when Ahsoka left that planet. So I want to see that now, because how long has it been, the Empire now? Maybe a couple months. It's kind of hard to gauge time in the show, how, from episode to episode, but that's what I want to see. I feel like this was kind of a hint as to essentially what happened to Mandalore next, but I hope we actually get to see it, because, then of course we're going to get to see Bo-Katan fighting the clone troopers and all that, but who knows, maybe one day. Anyways, this was really cool. I enjoy seeing this kind of stuff. And yeah, hopefully we'll get to see more Crosshair and all that, but it was nice to like get a little bit of insight into the Empire type of stuff. I think those first 5 minutes of this episode were just incredibly strong, and I want to see more scenes like that. Anyways, so let me know what you guys think. Are they gonna stay with Sid now that their debt is paid, or are they gonna move on? Are they kind of done with this? Who really knows? But I really enjoyed this episode. I don't know if this is actually the start of another arc. I don't know if that senator is gonna come into play again, and he's gonna be like, oh hey, thank you guys for rescuing me, now I have another mission for you guys, or something. Or if that senator and all that is just done and that was just a one-off. I can't really tell. It could kind of go either way, because now he's with them, so I don't know, he might come up next episode and say like, okay, we got something else for you guys to do. Who really knows? Anyways, let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye.